you so much for being here this afternoon. I'm so excited about what I'm going to share with you today and the possibilities that it can provide for our students, our instruction, and assessments. My name is Bridget Egan Lahane. I am the Library Media Specialist here at Wildcat Elementary, but I've also served many years as a teacher and have many years teaching experience. I know as a former classroom teacher that there are many challenges that we face. So it is my goal that after you leave our session this afternoon, you have some excitement and ideas about how to incorporate today's topic into your own classrooms. So, how many of you are familiar with the saying, out with the old and in with the new? I'm sure we all are. Most of us probably think of clothes, maybe hairstyles and trends, technology, maybe even teaching. But how many of you think of how this applies to writing a story? Honestly, probably not many of us. But writing a story is something all of our students are required to do. From kindergarten to fifth grade, students must be able to retell, create, or compose a story with a beginning, middle, and end. However, I know from my classroom experience that this skill is a big challenge for most students. Somewhere along the way, in the whole writing process, our students falter. So we have the old way. We have paper and pencil, the eraser marks, the smudges, all the multiple steps. We have the feelings of frustration, the tedious writing process, and even writer's block. How many of you have seen students ask, do I have to start over? Students aren't producing quality writing pieces because of the tedious nature of the process. Raise your hand. How many of you are familiar with this scenario? And then we have our new way. We have computers and printers. There's technology assistance. There's easy access. The use of computers and technology assistive programs help alleviate the stress of writing. They help with typing and spell check and grammar. The using of these technology tools, they're quicker, they're physically easier to accomplish, less stressful, and they do promote higher student engagement when composing a writing piece. So how can we use technology to excite our students about writing stories to produce quality pieces? Well, there's even a newer way called digital storytelling. The newer way is more than just using a computer for spell check or typing a final copy. Digital storytelling is the practice of using various technologies to create a story. So, is there a technology product available that will encourage our students to create digital stories? Yes, there is. And that's what I'm excited to introduce you to. It's Photo Story 3, an easier and even newer way to create stories. So today we have some goals. Today's session we will work on three main goals. Number one is to identify three key features in Photo Story 3, such as starting a new project, uploading photos, adding text, captions, effects, and music, and even how to publish a finished project. How easy these can all be done and accomplished. Additionally, you will work together on identifying ways to use this program in various content areas and instructional units or standards that you already teach. And finally, you'll have an opportunity to create a short story using these key features that we have already discussed. So, our objectives. For cognitive objective today, teachers will be able to identify three ways to integrate Photo Story 3 into their instruction. Additionally, teachers will select one instructional unit, lesson, or standard and determine two ways that Photo Story 3 can be integrated to demonstrate student learning. And finally, teachers will work in grade level teams to navigate Photo Story 3 in order to create an example product that can be used in their classrooms. So some of you may be wondering, why use digital storytelling and why is it necessary and how will this help my students? Well, there are numerous studies and research available that supports the numerous benefits of using digital storytelling in the classroom. Incorporating digital storytelling has been shown to increase student engagement, promote higher level thinking, increase technology skills, and support project based learning. I found the following quote from a research study that I reviewed. And not only did this study support an improvement in writing skills, but it also discussed the increase in student engagement. And as a former classroom teacher, this was very motivating to me. Furthermore, research also supports that digital storytelling can enrich learning experiences, it can integrate various technologies, it enhances student comprehension, increases student engagement, and encourages the writing process. Now, who wouldn't want all of these things for their students in their own classrooms? Who doesn't want to motivate and encourage students to become better writers, even better yet, to even become better writers to demonstrate their learning? So, why use digital storytelling? For Common Core standards, all of us here today teach standards that require students to tell a story in some way. I'm not just thinking of writing pieces, it could be in other content areas, such as reading, science, social studies, and even math. Even arts and humanities teachers could use this product as a way for students to demonstrate learning. One specific example, and one we'll visit some today, would be RL 3.2. Students will recount stories, including fables, folktales, and myths from diverse cultures, to determine the central message, lesson, or moral, and explain how it is conveyed through key details. Another reason to use digital storytelling is it also complies with the ASL standards. Integrating digital storytelling also addresses numerous ASL standards. Now, you may be asking, what are ASL standards? Well, this is an acronym that you might not be familiar with, but it stands for the American Association of School Librarians. This is where I come in. ASL standards were designed to support 21st century learners and educators. These standards provide structure to the library program, but they also serve as a tool to ensure that all students in the school are learning the 21st century way. So, our ASL standards include 1.1.2 that they use prior and background knowledge as context for new learning. 2.1.6 that students use the writing process, media, visual literacy, and technology skills to create products that express new understandings. 3.1.3 students use writing and speaking skills to communicate new understandings effectively. And finally, 3.3.4 where students create products that apply to authentic, real world context. All of these standards are crucial and important for new century student learning. So, how do we get started? Well, let's quickly review some skills that will be handy to know before we get to Photo Story 3. You already know how to do almost everything required to use the program. So raise your hand if you know how or have experience with some of the following. How many of you can download, install a new program to your computer? How many of you can upload a photo or a saved image? How many of you can type or add text and change or edit fonts? And then how many of you can add music or voice narration? Now, for some of us, adding voice or music may be a new skill, but I assure you it is easy to do with Photo Story 3, and you'll see that later. Well, the first step is to download the program. This is super easy to do, and it only takes a few seconds. There are a couple of ways to do this. The first way is to go to Microsoft Office website and click on to the Download Center. You find Photo Story 3 among the list and you click to download. Another way is to go to the following web address. It's located down here at the bottom of your screen, and click on the free download icon. No matter which way you choose, it is quick and it is free. You'll be ready to use Photo Story 3 in just a couple of minutes. So once Photo Story 3 is downloaded, the second step is to choose an option. You'll click on Begin a New Story, Edit a Project, or Play a Story. If you are just beginning, you'll choose to Begin a New Story. If you are coming back to a saved project, then you'll choose Edit a Project. This is a quick and easy way for students to open previously saved or work in progress type projects. Or even you can play a story which you have already created and that has already been completed. The third step is to select or upload the pictures that you want to use in your story by clicking Import Pictures. Images can be saved digital photographs. They can be images that you've downloaded from Flickr or other online sources. They can even be scanned illustrations or drawings that you have saved to your desktop or PC and used and are used as images in the story. Within this step, you also have options to further edit your pictures. You can get them to be just the way you want them. Then down along the bottom, you have the option to drag and drop your pictures in the order that you want them to appear. It is super simple. During this step in the process, you can enhance your photographs by adding an effect. These effects will appear and change the image of your photograph. You can change to black and white, you can change to sepia, charcoal, watercolor, and there's even more. These effects would be a great way to add or enhance the impact of an image, such as creating a mood or distinguishing powerful moments or events that happen in a story. Next, you can add captions for your photograph or image. These captions will appear right on the picture. This feature is unique because it allows you to add extra information, dialogue, maybe even thought bubbles that will happen right on the picture itself. Next, it's time to narrate your story. With this awesome feature, you can add in words or script for your story by recording your voice as you tell the story. There is a recording button that you click when you are ready to begin. Each image offers this feature, so it is easy to break down the storytelling into small slides at a time. This feature is great for students because it breaks it down to one illustration at a time, and it allows them to tell their story a little bit at a time. There is even a small box provided for typing so that you can get the words just right before you record. Additionally, having a script you could have to follow would be very helpful at this stage in the process, which also encourages and supports student writing. Because some slides may be longer than others, which basically means that the length of the slides may be longer or shorter, you can customize and adjust the length of the image to fit the recording. Lastly, you are given a screen that will walk you through how to add background music or sound effects. You can choose whether or not to use music or songs that you have already stored in your library. This option allows you to add background music or sound effects. There are a couple of different options to choose from during this phase. First, you can choose music or songs that you have already saved to your computer by choosing Select Music. Or from here, you can also locate specific music and background sounds from Create Music. This feature is especially incredible and convenient because Photo Story 3 provides you with numerous already created song and music choices. You can choose what type of music you want to incorporate. Then you can even select a particular instrumental sound that will accompany your story. Some of you may indicated in the beginning that adding music or voice narration would be difficult or complicated, but I assure you that it is simple and easy to do with Photo Story 3. It's a matter of just a couple of clicks. Once all of that has been done, finally you are ready to save and produce your final product. After completing your story, you're provided with several options. Number one is to save your story to your computer. Number two is you can send the story to someone through email. And finally, you can save your story for smartphone or Windows Media Player for mobile devices. Any of these options are easy to do and follow similar procedures. Just highlight which option you wish to choose and then simply just click on the name of your saved photo story and you're ready to save. So let's look at what we have learned so far. I'm going to ask you some true or false questions. So please answer the following true or false questions the best you can to determine what you have learned about Photo Story 3 so far. So, true or false? Images used in Photo Story 3 products can only be digital photos. True or false? That is false. You can use multiple images. Anything saved to your computer from online web sources or other sources can be used in Photo Story 3. Photo Story 3 provides many different image effects, such as black and white, sepia, and watercolor. Is that true or false? That is true. Once you have downloaded the images, you can do multiple different effects to kind of add impact, add mood, change the scene of your story, anything that you would like to accomplish. It's very easy to do. Okay, next question. When adding voice narration to your story, you have to record your voice in one setting, starting at the beginning and record all the way to the end. True or false? And that is false. With Photo Story 3, you are able to break it down slide by slide, picture by picture, and you can add your voice and music recordings as you need to. When adding music, you can choose from your own saved music files or pre created selections. Is that true or false? And that is true. You can choose from your own saved files or you can use music that has already been chosen for Photo Story 3. Final question. Once a story is finished, it can only be viewed by the creator. True or false? And that's false. Once a story has been created, there are several options to share. You can save it to your computer, you can email it to others, and download it onto your smartphones. So now it's your turn to work. With a partner, or maybe a grade level team, let's begin to create a product using Photo Story 3. With your team, you might want to discuss ways Photo Story 3 can be incorporated into a lesson, a unit, or maybe a standard that would allow students to demonstrate their learning. Be thinking of ways you could use this product in your classroom and how your students could use this product in some way. Remember to think about different content areas as well. Now that you've had time to work with some coworkers, let's share. So, how can you use Photo Story 3? Okay, now it's your turn again. So, with a partner, you're actually going to have the opportunity to grab a laptop and begin exploring with Photo Story 3. You're going to be thinking of ways that you could use this in your classroom and how students could use this product again. But this time, you'll actually explore and use the program to see what you can come up with. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to explore and create a product today. If you weren't able to finish, remember it is so easy to go back into a safe product to finish later. If everyone could please pause for a moment and complete the questions that I've included on this slide, it would be very beneficial to me and possibly others about how to use this program or product in the future. So, 3 things to think about. We're going to do a 3-2-1. If you could please list 3 things or new ideas that you learned from today's session, 2 concepts that you still may be unsure about, and 1 question that you may have. If you could complete the 3-2-1 learner response and provide feedback at the following address, that would be super beneficial. And also, finally, once you've had a little bit of time to explore, our exit slip for today is to describe one way that you could incorporate Photo Story 3 into your classroom. And again, please provide feedback at www.brideslibrary.wordpress.com. I hope you have enjoyed today's session on Photo Story 3, but more importantly, I hope you are motivated to try something new in your classroom. Please let me know how I can be of further assistance to you to incorporate this wonderful product into your instruction and how to use it as a tool to demonstrate student learning. I am here to help you any way I can, and I am happy to do so. Thank you so much.